Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Ang pag-aaralan natin ngayon ay makikita sa book ng Daniel chapter 4 verse 1 to 37. Bago tayo magpatuloy, tayo muna ay sandaling manalangin. Dakilang Diyos, kami ay nagpapasalamat sa panibagong araw na kami ay naririto upang mag-aral ng iyong mga salita. Ang dalangin namin, Panginoon, bigyan kami ng katalinuhan na nagmumula sa iyo nang sa gayon ng iyong mga salita ay aming maunawaan, may sa puso, higit lalo may sa buhay. Sa iyong papurit, pasalamat sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen. Daniel chapter 4 verses 1 to 37. At let me read for you, but ang babasahin ko lang is from verse 28 to verse 33. Ang sabi dito, gamit ko ay NASB. All this happened to Nebuchadnezzar, the king. 12 months later, he was walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon. The king reflected and said, "Is this not Babylon, the great, which I myself have built as a royal residence by the might of my power, for the glory of my majesty?" Verse 31, while the word was in the king's mouth, a voice came from heaven, saying, "King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is declared, sovereignty has been removed from you, and you will be driven away from mankind. And your dwelling place shall be with the beasts of the field. You will be given grass to eat like cattle, and 7 periods of time will pass over you until you recognize that the Most High is ruler over the realm of mankind and bestow it on whomever He wishes." In verse 33, immediately the word concerning Nebuchadnezzar was fulfilled, and he was driven away from mankind and began eating grass like cattle, and his body was drenched with dew of heaven until his hair had grown like eagle's feathers and his nails like bird's claws. Mostly, when we read yung book ng Daniel, dalawang story yung madalas na napapakinggan natin. The story of the three friends, Meshach, Shadrach, Abednego, at doon sa fiery furnace, and then Daniel sleeping kasama yung mga lion sa lion den. But yung chapter 4, it's a narrative patungkol kung paano ang Diyos ay ginagawa niyang mapagkumbaba ang isang taong mapagmataas. Higit lalo, in chapter 4, pinapakita rin yung sovereignty ni God is higit doon sa sovereignty ng isang tao. At dito sa narrative na to makikita natin si King Nebuchadnezzar. Now, si King Nebuchadnezzar, siya yung naghahari sa buong Babylon, and Babylon is one of the most powerful nation on the ancient times. He is known for building structures. Kilala si King Nebuchadnezzar para sa pagpapatayo ng magaganda at naglalakihang structures. Kaya nga sa chapter 3, nagpatayo siya ng image niya, golden image, na ang lahat ng tao sa Babylonia ay sasamba doon. Bagamat ganon, yung tatlong magkakaibigan, si Shadrach, si Meshach, and Abednego, hindi nila ginawang sumamba sa statwa na pinagawaan ni King Nebuchadnezzar. Kaya naman ang nangyari, si King Nebuchadnezzar ay nagalit at pinadala sila doon sa burning furnace. At bagamat pinadala sila doon, after silang padala doon, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, walang harm na nangyari sa kanila, hindi sila napaso. And while the King Nebuchadnezzar was looking at them, hindi lang sila tatlo, kundi 4 sila, na yung isa ay pinoprotektahan yung tatlo. After that, na-recognize ni King Nebuchadnezzar that yung God na pinaglilingkuran ni Meshach, Shadrach, Abednego, even ni Daniel, ay siyang totoo at tunay at karapat-dapat na purihin. So here makikita natin on how praise has been declared by King Nebuchadnezzar. Kaya nga sa chapter 4 verse 1, ang sinabi, Nebuchadnezzar, the king to all the peoples, nations, and men of every language that live in all the earth, may your peace abound. It has seemed good to me to declare the signs and wonders which the Most High God has done for me. Verse 3, how much are His signs, and how mighty, and His wonders. His kingdoms is an everlasting kingdom, and His dominion is from generation to generation. So makikita natin from chapter 4 verse 1 to verse 3, yung praise ibinigay ni Nebuchadnezzar sa Diyos na totoo at sa Diyos na buhay. Nevertheless, si King Nebuchadnezzar ay nung nandun siya sa kanyang tahanan from verse 4 onwards ay nanaginip siya. At isang fearful and dreadful yung kanyang panaginip. Since nabahala at naalarma si King Nebuchadnezzar sa kanyang panaginip, sa kanyang vision, pinatawag niya lahat, magicians, diviners, Chaldeans, wise men, lahat ng sila hindi kayang i-interpret yung panaginip ni King Nebuchadnezzar. But on verse 8, ito yung sinabi, but finally, Daniel came in before me, whose name is Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God, and in whom is a spirit of the holy gods. And I related the dream to him, saying, O Belteshazzar, chief of the magicians, since I know that a spirit of holy gods is in you, and no mystery baffles you, tell me the visions of my dream, which I have seen, along with its interpretation. So, si Belteshazzar, or si Daniel in his Babylonian name, siya yung tinawag. Sa kanya sinabi ng king. Sabi ng King Nebuchadnezzar sa kanya, sasabihin ko sa iyo at try mong interpret. Yung dream ni King Nebuchadnezzar from verse 11, ang sabi, the tree grew large and became strong, and its height reached to the sky, and it was visible to the end of the whole earth. Its foliage was beautiful, and its fruit abundant, and in it was food for all. The beasts of the field found shade under it. The birds of the sky dwelt in its branches, and all the living creatures fed themselves from it. In verse 13, I was looking in the vision in my mind, and as I lay on my head, behold, an angelic watcher, a holy one, descended from heaven. Verse 14, he shouted out and spoke as follows, chop down the tree, and cut off its branches, strip off its foliage, and scatter its fruit. Let the beast flee from under it, and the birds from its branches, yet leave the stump with its roots in the ground, but with a band of iron and bronze around it. In the new grass of field, let him be drenched with the dew of heaven, and let him share with the beasts in the grass of the earth. And let his mind be changed from that of man, and let a beast mind be given to him, and let 7 periods of time pass over him. The sentence is by decree of angelic watchers, and the decision is a command of the holy ones, in order that the living may know that the Most High is ruler over the realm of mankind, and bestow it on whom he wishes, and set over it the lowliest, of men. So yung dream ni King Nebuchadnezzar, first it was a good and a great dream about a tree that has become a strong and tall as high as the sky. But yung follow-up ng dream niya ay lahat ng maganda dun sa una niyang dream ay nasira at natanggal. Ang sabi ni Belteshazzar or ni Daniel sa kanyang interpretation dun sa dream ni King Nebuchadnezzar from verse 19, then Daniel, whose name is Belteshazzar, was appalled for a while as his thoughts alarmed him. The king responded and said, Belteshazzar, do not let the dream or its interpretation alarm you. So here Daniel, after marinig yung panaginip ni King Nebuchadnezzar, was appalled. Namangha siya, nagulat, at natakot, hindi para sa kanyang sarili, kundi para dun sa nanaginip kay King Nebuchadnezzar. Bagamat ganon, ang sinabi ni King Nebuchadnezzar sa kanya is this, Belteshazzar, do not let the dream or its interpretation alarm you. Belteshazzar replied, My lord, if only the dream applied to those who hate you, and its interpretation to your adversary. Kung yung panaginip mo ay patungkol lang doon sa mga may galit sa'yo at mga tumutuligsa sa'yo, okay lang. Pero hindi. Dahil yung panaginip na meron that time si King Nebuchadnezzar ay panaginip ng judgment na darating sa kanyang buhay. The tree that you saw, which became large and grew strong, whose height reached to the sky and was visible to all the earth, and whose foliage was beautiful, and its fruit abundant, and in which was food for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, in those in whose branches the birds of the sky lodge. It is you, O King, for you have become great and grown strong, and your majesty has become great and reached to the sky, and your dominion to the end of the earth. So first, sa dream ni King Nebuchadnezzar, it was him. Yung tree who grew strong, yung tree who almost reached the sky, and yung dominion sa buong mundo ay naabot niya. It was King Nebuchadnezzar, and it was him and his majesty, and yung majesty nung kanyang kingdom, nung Babylonian kingdom. Pero hindi doon natapos. In verse 23, in that the king saw an angelic watcher, a holy one, descending from heaven, and saying, chop down the tree and destroy it, yet leave the stump with its roots in the ground, but with the band of iron and bronze around it, in the new grass of field, and let him be drenched with the dew of heaven, and let him share with the beasts of the field until 7 periods of time pass over him. Verse 24, this is the interpretation, O King, and this is the decree of the Most High, that you be driven away from mankind, and your dwelling place will be with the beasts of the field, and you be given grass to eat like cattle, and be drenched with dew of heaven, and 7 periods of time will pass over, until you recognize that the Most High is ruler over all the realm of mankind, and bestow it to whomever he wishes. And in that it was commanded to leave the stump with the roots of the tree. Your kingdom will be assured to you after you recognize it is heaven that rules. Verse 27, therefore, O King, may my advice be pleasing to you. Break away now from your sins by doing righteousness, and from your iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, in case there may be a prolonging of your prosperity. Yung second tree, again, it's a judgment ni God para kay King Nebuchadnezzar. Why? In chapter 3, nakita ni King Nebuchadnezzar yung Diyos na pinaglilingkuran ni Daniel, ni Meshach, Shadrach, at ni Abednego ay yung Diyos na pinakamakapangyarihan sa lahat. In chapter 4, he began with a praise. But yet, nanaginip siya na yung tree which is siya na noon ay maganda ay biglang i-chop down. Why? Because God is telling King Nebuchadnezzar na hindi si King Nebuchadnezzar yung may total control and total sovereignty all over the earth. Na ang sinasabi ni God through Daniel, sa pag-interpret niya sa panaginip ni King Nebuchadnezzar, na ang pinakamataas at pinakamakapangyarihan, pangatlo, ang pinaka-naghahari sa lahat, hindi siya, kundi yung Diyos. Kaya nga ang sabi ni Daniel, kung para sa kalaban mo, okay lang yung judgment na to. Kasi mabigat na parusa yung ibibigay ng Diyos dito. Kaya lang yung judgment na ito, yung warning of judgment na ito, ay hindi para sa kanila, kundi para sa king, na mangyayari kung hindi una tatanggapin ni King Nebuchadnezzar na yung pinakamakapangyarihan sa lahat ay hindi siya, kundi ang Diyos. Na ang naglagay sa kanya, hindi siya, kundi ang Diyos. At na yung Diyos na naglagay sa kanya, sa kanyang posisyon na bilang makapangyarihan sa buong Babylonia, ay kaya siyang tanggalin anytime sa isang iglap. Kaya yung advice ni Daniel sa kanya, break away from your sins. And what is the sin na itinutukoy ni Daniel kay King Nebuchadnezzar? Yung root ng sin na kailangan i-chop down ni King Nebuchadnezzar sa kanyang buhay is yung sin of pride. Because of everything that he has accomplished, because everything that he has built, although he has seen how powerful God is, hindi niya makita sa kanyang buhay na yung Diyos ay mas mataas sa kanya. Dahil siya yung hari na siyang kinikilala ng lahat. But on verse 28, all this happened to Nebuchadnezzar, the king. 12 months later, he was walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon. So 12 months yung lumipas na patuloy na paghahari ni King Nebuchadnezzar, at marahil dahil ito sa pinakinggan niya, yung advice sa kanya ni Daniel to break away from his sin and to do righteousness, to be merciful. But then, on verse 30, habang nandun sa royal palace, si King Nebuchadnezzar, habang siya ay naglalakad nun. Again, King Nebuchadnezzar was known for building structures. In chapter 3, ang kanyang pinagawa is yung kanyang golden image. In chapter 4, yung kanyang pinagawa is yung hanging gardens na iniregalo niya sa kanyang asawa na ang taas is 600 feet. At yung hanging gardens of Babylonia, kung aware kayo, isa iyon sa one of the most wonderful place in the ancient world. At ibinigay ito ni King Nebuchadnezzar sa kanyang asawa for refreshment. At habang siya ay naglalakad doon, ang sabi ni King Nebuchadnezzar is this: is this not Babylon, the great, which I myself have built as a royal residence by the might of my power and for the glory of my majesty. Verse 31, while the word was in the king's mouth. Habang sinasabi niya ito, na yung buong Babylonia ay nangyari dahil sa kanyang sarili, pangalawa dahil sa kanyang kapangyarihan, pangatlo para sa kanyang kaluwalhatian. Habang sinasabi ito ni King Nebuchadnezzar, yung nangyari sa kanya in verse 31, a voice came from heaven saying, King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is declared, sovereignty has been removed from you, and you will be driven away from mankind, and your dwelling place will be the beast of the field. You will be given grass to eat like cattle, and 7 periods of time will pass over you until you recognize that the Most High is ruler over the realm of mankind and bestow it on whom He ever wishes. Verse 33, immediately the word concerning Nebuchadnezzar was fulfilled. He was driven away from mankind and began eating grass like cattle, and his body was drenched with dew of heaven until his hair had grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. Habang sinasabi ni Nebuchadnezzar na dahil sa kanyang sarili, pangalawa dahil sa kanyang kapangyarihan, pangatlo para sa kanyang kaluwalhatian, yung nagawa niya sa Babylonia, naganap at nangyari yung warning ni God sa panaginip niya that He would chop down that strong tree who lives with his achievements and yung pride ng kanyang buhay. Sabi that time, you have been thrown away from mankind. Ang sabi ng Nebuchadnezzar, I have built for my power, because of my power, and for my majesty. Ang sabi ni God sa kanya, I can make you eat grass. Kaya kitang pakainin ng damo. He was thrown away from his kingdom, separated from his kingdom. Yung buhok niya, sobrang haba, na parang pakpak ng mga agila. Yung kanyang mga kuko ay naging sobrang haba rin. At na para pang claws ng mga ibon. He became insane. He was out of his mind. Nawala sa buhay ni King Nebuchadnezzar yung kanyang reasoning. It lasts for a period of 7 periods. Meaning 7 years. 7 taon itong naranasan ni Nebuchadnezzar dahil sa hindi niya makita sa kanyang sarili, sa kanyang buhay, na ang pinakamataas sa lahat ay ang Diyos at hindi siya. Maraming ebidensya na nagsasabi sa atin na una sa lahat, ang Diyos ay totoo, ang Diyos ay buhay, ang Diyos yung pinakamakapangyarihan, at ang Diyos yung pinakamataas sa lahat. He is sovereign, na yung buong mundo ay Kanya lamang talampakan. Pangalawa, bagamat napakaraming evidence na nagpo-point out kay God that He is a sovereign God, maraming tao pa rin ang nagdi-discredit that God is sovereign, and they suppress the truth and live with their own pride. The pride of his life, the joy of his life, the glory of his life, and the majesty of his life has been taken away from him because he cannot recognize that God is sovereign and is above over all creations in this earth. King Nebuchadnezzar became insane, or in our times, it could be diagnosed as schizophrenia, delusional, hallucination, and yung behavior niya ay nawala na sa tama. Although chapter 4 speaks so much on how God humbles a proud man, we cannot deny the condition of King Nebuchadnezzar experience, which is experienced by many people nowadays. Mental illness. Today, people are aware of mental illness. Insanity, schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress disorder, ADHD, bipolarism, OCD, obsessive-compulsive disorders, at yung mas madalas na alam ng lahat yung chemical imbalances na meron siya. Christians and non-Christians are aware of mental illnesses na marami sa tao. Maring yung iba sa inyo na nakikinig ay meron. Maring naman meron kayong kakilala na meron din ito. Now, ano yung stand ng isang Kristiyano patungkol sa mental awareness? Higit lalo sa hinaharap natin ngayon in this time of pandemic, much of anxiety attacks, depressions ay dumadami din. at higit lalo lumalala. Psychology tells you that they know everything. Alam nila at sinasabi nila na kaya nangyayari at ginagawa at ganyan ang behavior ng isang tao dahil sa kanyang mga nakaraan o dahil sa kanyang mga pinagdadaanan. Psychiatry naman, it tells us na merong hormonal imbalance or hindi tama, hindi maayos at hindi tugma sa functioning ng mind ng isang tao kaya nangyayari ito. Both psychology and both psychiatry has no cure for mental illnesses. Ang kaya nilang gawin is suppress yung urges ng isang tao, yung feeling ng isang tao, yung nararamdaman ng isang tao. Kapag ang isang tao nagkakaroon ng anxiety attacks or depression or post-traumatic stress disorder, binibigyan sila ng medication para masuppress yung kanilang nararamdaman. But until now, wala pa rin cure. Aside from medication, sinasabi nila mag-exercise, healthy diet, do these things and many things. But on 1961, Thomas Hoss, a psychiatrist, wrote about the myth of mental illness. Sabi niya, ang problema ay wala sa utak ng tao, kundi sa uri at sa klase ng kanyang pamumuhay. The problem is not on his mind, but the problem is on his living. So what's the take of Christianity in mental awareness? Hindi natin sinasabi na kagaya ng Nebuchadnezzar, naranasan niya yung mental illness niya or yung insanity na meron siya because of his sin. Hindi natin sinasabi na yung mga taong nakakaranas ng mental illnesses ay dahil sa pagpaparusa ng Diyos. Ang nararanasan ng mga tao yan dahil sa maraming circumstances na nangyayari sa buhay. Pero ang sinasabi natin ay ito, na ang hope ng isang tao para sa kagalingan na hindi kayang ibigay ng psychology, ng psychiatry at ng antidepressants, ang hope for cure ay sa Diyos. Dahil kagaya ni Nebuchadnezzar, na bumalik yung kanyang reason after niyang mag-recognize si God, gayon din, ang Diyos din ang kayang mag-cure, ang Diyos na kayang mag-cure kay Nebuchadnezzar, ang siya rin kayang mag-cure sa mga taong may mental illnesses. So here Nebuchadnezzar experienced mental illness. He was humiliated. Pinalis siya sa kanyang kaharian. Nakalimutan niya na yung personal hygiene niya. Humaba na ng humaba yung buhok niya. Yung kuko niya ay parang kukunan ng ibon din. At ang kinakain niya ay damo, bugs, or kahit na anong bagay na nandoon. His reason was completely out. Until such time, in verse 34, but at the end of that period, imagine for 7 years. For 7 years. Hindi lang mabilisan, hindi lang 2 taon, hindi lang 3 taon, 7 taon itong naranasan na Nebuchadnezzar. So any one of you here na nakikinig at nanonood na merong mental illnesses, maaaring tumagal din yan, pero there is hope. Just like Nebuchadnezzar, naranasan niya. Sabi sa verse 34, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eyes toward heaven, and my reason returned to me. And I blessed the Most High, and praised and honored Him who lives forever. Before na naranasan ni Nebuchadnezzar yung judgment, it was all about me. After na ma-return yung reason, at tunay na nasa reasoning na si Nebuchadnezzar, it was all about God. lahat ng bagay nakita na ngayon ni Nebuchadnezzar on a different perspective, on a bigger picture, na hindi pala siya yung pinakamataas at pinakamakapangyarihan sa mundo. Nakita niya na ngayon na ang Diyos yung pinakamataas at pinakamakapangyarihan sa buong mundo. Sabi niya, for His dominion is an everlasting dominion, and His kingdom endures from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are accounted as nothing, but He does according to His will in the hosts of heaven and among the inhabitants of earth, and no one can ward of His hand or say to Him, what have you done? Verse 36, at the time my reason returned to me, and my majesty and splendor were restored to me for the glory of my kingdom, and my counselors and my nobles began seeking me out. I was reestablished in my sovereignty, and surpassing greatness was added to me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, exalt and honor the King of heaven for all His works and through His ways, just, and He is able to humble those who walk in pride. So here, a king who is prideful because of what he has done for the kingdom of Babylon was humbled down by God. And after his reasoning returned to him, he began to acknowledge that God is much higher than him. Paulit-ulit sa salita ng Diyos, sinasabi na ang mapagmataas ay laging ibinababa. And yung life ni King Nebuchadnezzar is a great example on how a proud man can be humbled by God. On how a powerful man can become the least of man because dun sa naranasan niyang humiliation. But also, only God can do what He did to Nebuchadnezzar, to restore his reasoning, to reestablish his kingdom, to return his glory and sovereignty. Yet, this Nebuchadnezzar has a change of mind and change of heart na nakikita niya na ang lahat ng ito ay wala rin kung wala ang Diyos. Tandaan natin sa ating mga buhay, anumang bagay na meron tayo at anumang bagay na pinanghahawakan natin, anumang bagay na nakakapagpuno sa pagkatao natin bilang isang tao, lahat ng ito ay hindi mangyayari at hindi magaganap sa buhay natin kung hindi pinahintulutan ng ating Diyos. Humility, meekness, it's not a sign of weakness. Hindi kahinaan ang maging isang taong mapagkumbaba. Malimit, nagagawa nating maging mapagmataas because doon sa lahat ng meron tayo sa buhay natin. Educational background, achievements, properties in life, awards and titles that we have. Hindi lahat ng ito yung totoong makakapagbigay ng meaning sa ating buhay. Hindi lahat ng ito yung makakapag-satisfy sa atin at magsasabi sa atin, I have lived the life, kundi yung pagkakaroon ng Diyos at pagpapakumbaba sa Kanyang harapan. Ang pinakamataas mong pwedeng puntahan sa mundong ito, hindi yung kung anong pinakamataas na posisyon sa buhay, kundi ang pinakamataas na pwede mong marating sa mundong ito ay yung dalawang tuhod mo ay nasa sasaig at nananalangin at nagtitira pa sa harapan ng Diyos. Hindi kailanman kahinaan ang maging mapagkumbaba sa harapan ng ating Diyos. Even Jesus Himself walked in humility. Even the apostles did walk in humility. Even Apostle Paul walk in humility. Now here, even a king has been humbled before the one and true King of all creation. Kailanman ay huwag tayong pumitas ng kaluwalhatian na para sa Kanya, na para sa Diyos. Dahil ang lahat ng bagay ay dahil sa Kanya, sa pamamagitan niya, at tanging para sa Kanya lamang. Tayong lahat ay manalangin. Dakilang Diyos, salamat sa panibagong araw na kami ay nakapag-aral ng iyong mga salita. Dalangin namin manatili ito sa aming mga puso't isipan. Patuloy mo kaming turuan na magpakumbaba sa iyong harapan. Patuloy namin tignan na ang lahat ng bagay ay hindi mangyayari kundi dahil sa iyong pahintulot. At walang meron sa buhay namin ngayon na magaganap at matatanggap at mangyayari kung hindi mo ipinagkaloob. At ang lahat ng bukas, ang lahat ng patungkol sa kinabukasan ay tanging ikaw lamang ang may hawak. Turuan mo kami, Panginoon, na mamuhay ng ayon sa iyong mga salita. At hayaan mo nawa, Panginoon, na sundin namin ito. Totoo nga, Panginoon, na ang pagiging mapagkumbaba ay hindi isang kahinaan, kundi ito ay iyong nais at kalooban sa buhay